this one up and going. Alright, I think I'm up now, so let's see if everything's working. Okay, everything is working. Alright, long time no see. This is probably the shortest turnaround I've ever had for like 2 different live streams. So, thank y'all for checking out the last quick live stream that I did as of, I don't know, 2-3 minutes ago on the Dallas Cowboys rebuild. So, here we are doing getting ready to start up year 3 of our other rebuild that I've been doing, rebuilding the Carolina Panthers. So we're getting ready to start the 2025 season, and let's take a look at our roster for year 3 of the Panthers rebuild. We've got some retooling that we did, but some of the skilled positions we haven't changed. So Bryce Young is still going to be our quarterback going into year 3, 78 overall. Hopefully this is the year that he breaks the 80 overall barrier and, just can get us over the hump, and maybe we can get back to the playoffs. Because the first year of this rebuild made the playoffs, lost our first playoff game. Actually, no. We won the wild card round, lost the divisional round game to the Cowboys. Last year, unfortunately, at 9-8, I believe, wasn't good enough to make the playoffs. We did have a couple of good last end of the season wins, so I feel like we're heading in the right direction. We just need to get over the hump. And do we have the roster to do it? I don't know if we have it for year 3. So Bryce Young is our starting quarterback. We did sign Kirk Cousins at 73 overall to be our backup quarterback, just in case something happens to Young, because you never know. And we did draft a kid named Bo Falk out of Dayton College, 59 overall. So obviously he's the guy that we're putting on the bench, and we're just seeing if he can develop into anything for a backup role. We're going with Miles Sanders this year as our running back. Chuba Hubbard we let walk in free agency because he's around the same rating as Sanders, and I want to give a full year to Sanders at 80 overall to see what he can do. But we did draft Jaden Ott out of Cal to be our backup running back, 75 overall. He may be a good, kind of thunder and lightning duo with Sanders. Hopefully they can develop into something. We still have Tyler Goodson, Travis Dye, and E.J. Smith, a.k.a. Emmitt Smith's son. That's right. So I gave him the 22. And we did sign Akari Blossomgame to be our new fullback. I feel like in Madden, to an extent, you do need a decent fullback, so that way you're not putting tight ends over there, which are typically lower-rated blocking guys than a regular fullback. So he's a 75 overall. Our receiving core is pretty much the same as last year. We still have Kendrick Bourne, 80 overall. We do have Jonathan Mingo, and we also have Dorian Singer, who we drafted the year before out of USC, who's going to be our third receiver. Mingo actually did pretty well last season, is up to a 78. We let Chark walk. We do have Connor Weddington and Sarge Starchan, Camp, Brandon Smith, Green, and Alexander. So outside of Singer, we don't really have a lot of big-name receivers. Kendrick Bourne is our best guy at 80 overall. And tight end, we're going with Tommy Tremble this season. Hayden Hurst, I didn't feel like it was worth, and there wasn't really another tight end to replace him. So we're going with Tremble as our tight end. As a matter of fact, Hayden Hurst is actually lower rated than Tommy Tremble. So I don't think Hurst is going to be a guy that we're going to bring back for another year because Tremble has already supplanted him as the starter. We still have Akeem as our left tackle, 85 overall. We drafted Troy Fontenot last year out of Washington, and we drafted Juan Youngblood out of Arkansas. So we have some more left tackle depth. We got more depth on left guard as well because we signed Chuma Edoga, the former Cowboy and Cardinal. And we actually did make a trade. So we actually traded one of our backup running backs, Keontae Ingram, I believe, to the Cowboys for Asim Richards. Now, Richards was on the trading block in Dallas, 69 overall, and he played at North Carolina as well. So I think that's why his interest was up and coming here to basically come to his hometown team, and he's going to provide us some good depth at left guard. 69 overall is not really anything too special, but I feel like it was a decent trade, and it was swapping player for player. Bradley Bozeman is our starting center. We still have Cade Mays backing him up, so not a lot of change there. We did sign Graham Glasgow to be our new right guard at 78 overall. I wanted somebody else, but Glasgow was the only guy who would take a contract that we offered. And we still have Taylor Moton, 85 overall. Levi Gary's going to back him up, who we drafted out of USC. Leroy Watson and, of course, Ricky Lee are there as well. James Smith-Williams is the guy that we signed, 5-year pro out of NC State. He's going to be our new left end because we had to replace our previous starter, but Gabriel Murphy is not that far behind. Murphy, hopefully he can develop maybe more in his second full season because we drafted him last year out of UCLA. I was pretty interested in him, so hopefully he can develop and be a good, extra guy. And we still have Emmanuel Allen, who we drafted out of Dakota State, and we have Tarquez Tisdale. Right in, we still have Derek Brown, one of the highest paid guys on the team, 90 overall. Davion Nixon is going to back him up. Defensive tackle, Sebastian Joseph Day is another new name that we brought on in free agency this year, 78. We drafted Michael Williams out of Georgia this season as well, 77 already. So he's probably going to supplant Sebastian Joseph Day as the starter because he's really a bridge player. We still have Shai Tuttle, who we brought back, and of course we still have Tyler Davis, who we drafted a year ago out of Clemson. But so far his development is halted to 70 overall. So hopefully that gets better. And we did sign Atito Agbanya as well. We have DJ Johnson, who we signed to be our new left outside linebacker. And we have Iku still here. And we have Johnny Hodges. Shaq Thompson is still our middle linebacker. We got Frank Lavu still here. Charius. And we got Brian Burns still here. He and Derek Brown are our best players. Amari Barno and Jamal Pearson is another guy that we drafted. We still have J.C. Horn as our starting corner. Ventrell Cypress Jr. is fully planted as the number 2 corner. Andrew Smith is also going to be our third corner, backing him up. So corners are not really super spectacular in terms of overalls, but as far as depth, we're looking okay. We do still have Xavier Woods, 80 overall, but he's still kind of teetering a little bit. Strong safety, we got Von Bell still here and Yam Banks. Kicker, we signed Harrison Bucker, and we got Tommy Townsend to be our new punter. So we upgraded in the kicking game this offseason as well because the previous guys we had, they were on expiring deals. Didn't feel it was worthy to bring them back and get somebody better in here. All right, so a lot to go over with the roster. Our roster is actually pretty big. We're at 68 players. We could get up to 75, but we're just going to go through the preseason. We're going to go ahead and kind of get through the preseason. We're going to see how we do, and we're going to do cut days, and then we're going to go ahead and get the season going. All right. So we won our first preseason game of the year against the Jets, so that's good. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of our players. And we're getting ready to play the Bills to wrap up the preseason this year. The second game, excuse me. Let's go ahead and advance to next week. Playing Buffalo, in Buffalo this week. Alright, and we beat them, so we actually are 2-0. Can we make it 3-0 against the Chargers in preseason? I feel like no, but we'll see. And we go undefeated in the preseason. So how about that? Let's go ahead and upgrade our staff. Frank Wright is still our coach, and because he led us to the playoffs in the first year, not quite ready to bail on him just yet. Let's see about Darren Young, though, our defensive coordinator. We upgrade him. Go ahead and do this. Weight room. Give him some upgrades there. Get those guys up and ready, you know. Okay. So it's cut day. We got to cut our roster down to 53. We got to figure out who we're going to put on practice, who we're not. So let's go position by position like we always do. It helps. We're not doing anything with quarterbacks, so I want to really keep all 3 of them just in case. Travis Dye, I think maybe somebody who we can actually just go ahead and straight up cut because I don't really think I want him on the practice squad either. E.J. Smith, I know he's Emmitt Smith's son. I don't want to actually put him on practice squad because I don't want to risk losing him just yet. So we'll come back to that. But we still have a lot of players we need to cut. Maurice Alexander, we can actually cut him without worrying about cap space. And, you know, Brandon Smith, we don't need your services either. And where does this leave us in terms of how many receivers? Okay, I think we go ahead and get rid of Jalen Camp as well. 4, 5, 6, 6 receivers. Okay, so maybe we'll come back and cut another receiver, put another receiver on practice squad, but just not right yet. I don't want to put any of our offensive linemen on the practice squad because I feel like every time I do that, they get snatched up. But Zavala, I'm going to go ahead and move you to the practice squad because we were able to trade for a Sim Richards, which is going to help us depth-wise there. So I'm not really worried about that. We have a lot of right tackles. Ricky Lee, we're going to go ahead and move you to practice squad. And Leroy Watson, we're actually just going to go ahead and cut you. And now we only have 2 right tackles, but that's okay because we got 1 guy on practice. All right, we got a lot of left ends. Now, Tisdale, we don't need your services. You haven't really developed. But I don't want to put any of these guys on practice either because I don't want to risk somebody else picking them up because they can develop pretty well. Oh, boy. We got a lot of defensive tackles. Can we cut a Tito? No, not without cap penalties. And I don't want to put Tyler Davis on practice squad because somebody could pick him up. Now, Johnny Hodges, I'm actually not too worried about losing if I'm brutally honest with you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and put him on practice squad. Because we have depth at middle and left outside linebacker. Woodbury, let's put him on practice squad. I'm okay with losing him. And honestly, the same thing with Chairless. I'm okay if we lose him through waivers. Right outside linebackers, Jamal Pearson. It's not the end of the world if we lose him, in my opinion, so I'm okay with putting him on practice. Max Williams, I'm just going to go ahead and cut you because, you know, you're just not developing very well. Same thing with Jaden Hill. Rankshaw Jr., 59 overall. I don't think we need you. So that's it for cut days. So we were able to kind of trim the roster down, and we got to 53 now. So let's go ahead and advance to the regular season. Something tells me that just to enter the first regular season week alone, somebody's going to be snatched up from the practice squad. But we'll see about that. Guys like Tyler Davis didn't want to risk putting them on waivers. Yep, one of them already got picked up. And it was Eagles have signed Jamal Pearson. Okay, all right. Well, Pearson was a guy I wasn't too worried about losing, so it's not the end of the world that he's going to the Eagles and going to be on their team. It is what it is. Okay, so our first game of the regular season is against the Patriots, and let's go ahead and choose our draft class, and let's download an accurate roster here because we're going into the 2025 season, so therefore we need a 2026 roster. So let's go ahead and find one. Let's see here. This one says 2026. NFL Draft 26. Yeah, but this one has more downloads, so we're going to do this one. Yeah, it's the same file, so it's going to overwrite. But this will be the 2026 draft class. I don't really know who will be in this class. I feel like Arch Manning will be a part of this class, but I could be wrong. Yep, there he is. Same thing with Max Murphy and Morris and Malachi Nelson out of USC. Even though in real life he entered the portal, but still. All right, so we've got our draft class in there with, you know, Arch Manning and, you know, Nelson and everybody. So we've got an accurate draft class to start the year, so that's good. All right. So, pretty interested to see what this team can do. Let's go ahead and simulate to the middle of the season and see where we are at. I feel like we're getting younger in some areas. We have a lot of the same cast of characters that we had in the first year of the first year of the team. But, you know, we still have some rebuilding to do on the offensive line because we still have a whole lot of players that are just in the high 70s and barely in the 80s. So we don't really have a lot of like big star caliber players, but at the same time, for the first 3 years of this, for the first 2 years, we've been a playoff team. We've had a winning record in the first 2 years because even though we didn't make the playoffs last year, 9-8 is still a winning record. And we finished strong. We beat good teams like the 49ers to end the season. And to end the year, we played a very good game against the LA Chargers at home, even though we did make the playoffs. So there's positive things going on, especially with Bryce Young at the helm. So I don't think this is going to be a super overhaul after this season. I hope I don't have to do that, like blow everything up. But we'll see. Because I'm not ready to move on from Bryce Young just yet, because he still has some development to go through. All right. Well, we're not starting off this season very good. We're 2-4. So this may take a little bit longer than I anticipated to finish this rebuild as well. But hey, it's a process, and that's why I'm here. This is why I play this game, and that's why I love doing YouTube videos for you guys. And the Panthers are a terrible team, and that's what they are when I took over them. All right, well, we're 2-4. Let's take a look at the players that contracts are up. Let's see who we need to talk to. So Akeem, I think definitely he's a guy that we need to look at keeping around because I want him here. Let's see about this initial offer. Exactly what I was hoping for. Great. So we got Ike, our best offensive lineman, coming back. Now Taylor Moton, as much as I'd like to keep him, maybe we may have to move on from him. And Kendrick Bourne is actually dipping a little bit, so maybe we may have to move on from him as well. Von Bell is questionable. There may be a possibility we can get a better strong safety in free agency, but I don't know that. And Joseph Day, I think I'm ready to move on because we drafted a new defensive tackle, Michael Williams, so I think Joseph Day is a guy that we can move on from because we really drafted to be a bridge sort of guy. Now, and the same thing with Tuttle because we drafted Williams. Blossing Game, maybe. I don't think Chuma's a guy we're going to look to bring back. Hurst, no. Really, a lot of these guys I'm not really looking to bring back. Eku, I don't think so. He's really dipped to being a 63. That's not good. Maybe Von Bell. Just for the risk of maybe if I can't find another strong safety, let's bring him back. Offer's perfect. It's only a one-year deal, so let's bring back Von Bell, bridge the gap a little bit, and maybe we can look for another strong safety in free agency or the draft, even if he's backing up somebody, Now, Taylor Moton, hopefully that meter goes from the red to the green, but right now he would not be interested in coming back, rightfully so. I can understand it. We're 2-4. We may or may not make the playoffs for the second year in a row, which is not fun. But everybody else I'm not really too interested in because I feel like we can make upgrades, and I feel like we need to leave money up there on the table in order for us to make some big moves, really upgrade this team in a lot of ways. I think that's what we just have to do. It's not a big overhaul, but it's an overhaul to an extent, if you will. So we're playing the Cardinals this week. They're 3-4. We're 2-4. Maybe we can get a win this week, but let's see. So now we're just going week by week, see where we're at. If we're not making the playoffs, I'm definitely playing the last week of the regular season. So we'll see what happens. And we lost to the Cardinals. So we're kind of fading fast. 2-5. We're at the bottom of the NFC South. Every other team has a winning record. Saints are 4-3, Falcons are 5-3, and the Bucs are 5-2. So once again, it looks like the Bucs and Falcons are battling for the supremacy while we're a third place to bottom feeder team. We're playing the 2-5 Packers this week. Every time I see that logo, I'm just going to think about Jordan Love. I swear. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still scarred from yesterday's Cowboys playoff loss. And unfortunately, we lost to Jordan Love and the Packers. So now we are 2-6, and I think it may be time to go into the tank a little bit. Let's see if we can upgrade Andre Weaver, our offensive coordinator, first. We have 11 staff points, but we can't afford any of this. What about the head coach? What about Frank Wright? What about defensive coordinator? coordinator. Go to player personnel, actually. Nothing there. Let's go back to our defense coordinator then. No, we can't upgrade anything. So we'll leave those 11 points to be used for later for our staff. Well, who knows? Maybe we need to move on to a new coach. Maybe we just need to see who's fired and who's available this offseason to upgrade our team, and then maybe we'll do that. Let's talk to Jonathan Coachman and answer the media question. You're under 500 right now. Have to turn this around. Yeah. Because I feel like we should have been a playoff team this year. We made some changes that I thought were going to help us, but so far we're 2-6. That's not looking good. I don't think we can do any trades, can we? Because we're past the trade deadline. Are we? Are we? Yeah, we can't make trades, can we? Yeah, we can't. The trade deadline is already passed, so we can't make any trades that will help us for the rest of the season, which I guess I should have looked more into that, but trading is not really something I'm a big fan of doing in these rebuilds sometimes, and I don't really feel like we need to, and I feel like we're going to be able to get some good guys in free agency to help out, so I'm not really ready to, pull the plug yet. But the Bills are surprisingly 3-5, so maybe there's a chance we can actually get an upset win this week over a pretty respected team. And we lose again. And now I think this season is kind of all but wrapped up. And Frank Reich, you led us to the playoffs in the first year, but it's what have you done for me lately? And lately you haven't gotten us more than likely into the playoffs in 2 consecutive seasons. We're 2-7. We're in the basement. And I'm pretty sure morale for Moton is going down. Yeah, his interest hasn't gone up at all. And Kendrick Bourne is not even interested in coming back. None of these guys are interested in coming back. None of them. None of these guys. So, on that note, I don't think we're going to be negotiating anymore with any of these players. Everybody else is going to hit the free agent market when the season is done, and we're just going to play out the season. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a win against the New Orleans Saints this week. They're 5-4. We're 2-7. It's second place team in the division versus last place team in the division. And we actually get a win this week. I'll be damned. So we've won our 3rd game of the season, a big upset win over the Saints, which could put them in a peculiar spot to maybe not make the playoffs. So at the very least, maybe we can play spoiler during the back half of the season. That's okay too in certain regards. So we've got breakout quarterback, probably somebody talking about Bryce Young. Fintrell, Cypress cornerback team, but man, that was the best I played a game like that. All right, well, Cypress is getting some confidence. That's good. Good to see our young corner getting more confident. We drafted you out of Florida State for a reason, Fintrell. And we're playing the Bucs this week. 3-7, 5-5. I don't think this will be a win. Well, we actually got a win, surprisingly enough. We beat the Bucs, so we've won back-to-back games against division opponents. So we're slowly climbing up a little bit out of the basement, but not really. Breakout player, let's see if Cypress had a good game. Frustrated, okay, all right. So he didn't play very well, but that is what it is. It's okay, Fintrell. You'll get better. We drafted you, to get younger at the cornerback spot. Help J.C. Horn. So that's what we're doing. Upgrade some players. So, I'm not even really going to view the playoff picture until weeks from now. 6-5 Saints again. So we played them 2 times in 3 weeks, and we're 4-7, and we're playing them at home this time. Maybe we can get another win. Maybe we can go undefeated against the Saints this year. We can say we swept at least one division opponent. And nope, we can't. 4-8. So yeah, I think we are we're toast, and we're not making the playoffs. And I'm actually going to do something that probably is going to be a little bit controversial, but I think it's time to pull the plug. I mean, Frank Wright, we're 4-8. You're fired. Fire you in the middle of the season. So I want to see, can we even play a game without hiring a head coach? So can we play with like Andre Weaver as the interim coach or no? Because I want to see if we can do that. But first, let's view weekly awards. So we fired Frank Wright in the middle of the season, and Smith, our rookie, won Defensive Player of the Week in the NFC. 8 tackles, 1 interception. Okay, so we got some young players that are, playing okay. So, all right. Well, let's go and play our game against the 49ers after we just fired Frank Wright. It obviously signals that changes are coming. We're moving in a new direction. Let's go ahead and play this game against the 49ers. We don't have a permanent head coach. Andre Weaver is our interim head coach right now. That's the way that we're doing things. And we'll see if maybe this turns things around. Well, it doesn't. We lost to the 49ers, but they're a very good team, so no fault there, really, especially when we got an interim head coach. Man, we're going to mess around and possibly be one of the worst teams in the league right now. Because based on the direction that we are headed, that's what could happen. Wait, coach hired. None of your offers were accepted, so we've hired Eberflus as your coach. Oh my God. So they did it for me? Okay, that's a little cheesy. You can't just like have a... Man. So we hired Matt Eberflus in the middle of the season to finish out the season. Okay, well, I don't know if he is the right coach anyway. So I think this whole staff is getting canned regardless of what the game decides to do for me. It doesn't matter. We're rebuilding the coaching staff this offseason. I think it's that point in the rebuild that we need to rebuild the coaching staff. Playing the 4-9 Jets this week. Well, we'll see if we can get a win here. They're pretty bad just like us. But I think we're worse. Well, we win 40-32 with Eberflus as his first game as our head coach. So that's something I wasn't really expecting. Okay, so if we go like undefeated the rest of the season with Eberflus as our head coach, maybe I'll reconsider. But right now, no. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are 4-10, surprisingly. So we're playing a team that's actually worse than us. Maybe we can get a win this week. Let's see. They're still the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill, so I'm not holding out too much hope. And we won by 22 points. Wow, so Eberflus has won his first 2 games as our interim head coach this year. That's insane. I didn't expect this. If we beat the Bucs, maybe. We'll see. But Tampa Bay, looks like they have an outside chance of winning the division based on the standings, but the Falcons are number 1. They're going to win the NFC South. And we win our 3rd game in a row with Eberflus as our interim? What is going on? Maybe he's the answer. I don't know. No, I don't think Eberflus is ultimately the answer long term. I don't think he is. Okay. So regardless of all of this has been a pretty bad season. And J.C. Horn won NFC Defensive Player of the Week. So he had 8 tackles and 1 interception. So he had himself a ball. He had himself a game. And we're going into the final week of the regular season. We're playing the Rams at home. Do we have any like serious, significant injuries that have happened this season yet, or no? So Hayden Hurst is going to miss this week with a shoulder strain, so we only have 1 tight end out there. But that's not a big deal to me, because Hurst is not going to be brought back this year anyway. Let's view the playoff picture going into the final week of the regular season for 2025. Cowboys 2, Cardinals 7, Falcons 3, Giants 6, 49ers 4, Rams at 5th. So only one NFC South team is going to make the playoffs this year based on the standings. The Vikings would have the number 1 seed. Chiefs would have the number 1 seed. Texans at 2, Ravens at 7, Bengals at 3, Colts at 6, Patriots 4th, Chargers 5th. All right. So unfortunately, year 3 is going to be another season of is going to be back-to-back years where we miss the playoffs. But Matt Eberflus has been hired as our interim head coach this year. I keep saying interim because we haven't fully made a decision to keep him as our head coach. If we win this game against the Rams, then I think that there's going to be reason for me to consider keeping him maybe as our coach. Minimum, sign the following players and try again. Okay, so we actually have to go sign a tight end because we don't have one. Well, we don't have a backup one. So I guess we got to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and sign a tight end. Just pick the best guy on the market, I guess. So we need to sign another tight end because the game is forcing me to, but it is what it is. So what tight ends are out here for the final week of the regular season? C.J. Uzomah. Let's go ahead and sign him. He's the best tight end out there on the market. It's a 1-year deal. He's literally only playing 1 game for the Panthers, and that's it. Literally just so we can play our final game of the regular season. I remember him with the Bengals. I don't know where he's been lately, and because of this, we have to cut a player. All right, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and just move Bo Falk to the practice squad. If he gets picked up, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at players. Let's not do that until after this. All right, let's go play the game against the Rams. We're 7-9. We win this game. I think it'll be maybe 4 wins to end the season under Eberflus. So let's see if we can get a win. And the Rams are in the playoff picture right now, but if we beat them, maybe they don't make it. So we could potentially play spoiler this week. So this season started off very poorly, but so far we've rallied to be 7-9 right now, which is almost the same record as we had last year, but we started out worse. We canned Frank Wright in the middle of the season. Today, to bring in Eberflus,
from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I just want to see if there's going to be a really prestigious head coach out there that we can get and bring in and really get a real bona fide good head coach in here to upgrade the staff. But we'll see. If Eberflus wins this game, he may be able to keep his role as interim. But we'll see. So here we go. Last game of the year for us. We got Miles Sanders. Throw the screen pass to him, and Sanders is going to get a little loose here. Nice first play. In front of the home fans. We're going to give him a show. Give him a show. Going to give him some positivity that, hey, it is a process, but trust the process. We're going to rebuild this team, and we're going to get better.
Looking to throw.
All right, come on, Mingo. Mingo with another nice catch. Every time I get a chance to play with this team, he makes some good catches. So I love to see that. But I do think we need another good receiver to go on the opposite side of a good receiver because, unfortunately, Kendrick Bourne, I don't think is going to be a guy that we're going to keep. But I like Mingo. And there he is again, over the middle for the first down. CJ BBS. Yo, hey, what's up, dude? Just checking out the stream.
It's another first down.
All right, let's run it with Sanders. Mingo in motion. Or that's Singer, excuse me. But Sanders doesn't go anywhere. Aaron Donald was right
He is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Out of the gun, it's Young.
And Singer. Oh, that was almost a pick by Bryce.
Interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now here's Young.
All right, come on, Bourne.
Got the connection here to Bourne.
I thought maybe he could run for the first, but he couldn't get there. That's my fault for running a short route. So we're going to go ahead and kick the field goal on the opening drive.
Take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from it.
So we get the field goal to go up by 3 to start out the game. Not bad, but not good either. The kick though by Buckner. The best kickers in the league. We got him. How many Panthers made the Pro Bowl this year? We'll find that out.
Defense looking for a 3rd down stop.
So they got a new quarterback. They don't have Matthew Stafford anymore.
Looking
Not
to
sure
throw.
who this guy is. Oh my goodness, how is he that wide open? At least we get a big hit, but he didn't. Oh, that's Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. He's their new quarterback. I remember I got him for I can't remember what the Bears rebuild. I used him for the Bears rebuild.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw right side.
Oh my goodness, I totally mistimed that hit.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled
instead, we
down
let
at the
Higbee
1.
get an easy first down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
So inside.
They'll look to throw again. That's
oh man, and of course Cooper Kupp.
Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp.
And the Rams are up by 11. So now we got to respond on this drive. We've hit the 2-minute warning. We're down by 11. So we got to get down this field. And we got to get 7. I don't think a field goal is really not what I want to walk away with here.
3rd and short yardage, Young.
Over the middle finds Mingo again.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
We got an injury timeout. 3rd down and 12. And we're on defense
This
again,
defense
so we
looking
couldn't
for a
finish
big
the drive.
3rd down stop here. They're already down on the scoreboard, just trying to get the ball back to their offense. Wide open receiver complete.
Another big play led
Now
by
the
the
Rams will
defense.
signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they get.
Rams have got a very potent offense. This is tough.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, incomplete.
Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested
run.
Right.
Well, they didn't get the first.
Incomplete.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Keep them out of the end zone.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Oh, force the incompletion. Nice job, Pete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Alright, so the Rams do get a field goal. They're up 14 points. There's still time on the clock, and I don't know how many timeouts we have left, but we got 2. And we don't do anything to start the 3rd quarter. Rams are up by 3 touchdowns.
Has this offense in really good position. Can they finish the drive off? Let's find out. It's 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
Oh!
Throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well.
We're playing hard. We're playing from behind, and we got a 3 touchdown deficit facing us here.
Every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
All right, Bourne powers his way to a short yardage situation here.
always laugh when people say, what's the toughest
run
route
it
to
here just so we
defend?
can possibly get this ball in the end zone.
Especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult.
Come on, Sanders.
Drag,
and Sanders finds pay dirt, and we finally get our first touchdown of the game. So now we're down by 4.
Sanders with
Just wanted to get 1 touchdown on the board. Give ourselves a little bit of a fighting chance. And now here we are back on offense. We got a 4th down and 10 here. We got to have this or have any chance of coming back.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down.
Oh,
Unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. And the Panthers.
I should have kept the play that we already had. The Rams just got a field goal, so there's a very slim chance, but it's slim by a lot.
See if this defense is up to the task. Now Young.
We're gonna have to let this sucker fly.
And that's going to be incomplete.
4th down. Going for it. We're not making the playoffs, so we're going for it.
4th down, Young.
Here we go. 1st down, Kendrick Bourne. Let's go. But let's go quick now. We got to get this ball in the end zone. We got to keep it up.
This offense has been sustaining a nice, long, successful drive here. Now they're looking to finish it off. 1st and goal in the red zone. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this down.
Save some time on the clock. Stop the clock for a little bit. Let's go to another play.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
3 minutes left in this game.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun.
Sanders gets in for the touchdown. Just stop hesitated. I called the wrong play there. But we got the touchdown. And now we got to go on.
It's a 2-score game in the 4th quarter. Onside kick coming up, and the kicking team desperately
I
needs
never
a
know
football.
how to do this.
And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football.
Probably attempted that a little bit too early, but we need to try to get the ball back. 4th and 1.
This defense trailing in the 4th quarter and really needing this 4th down stop. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
Okay, well, they're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 1.
Back to throw here.
And he missed it. Okay, so we're only down 10. We're going to get the ball back, but we don't have a whole lot of time.
No hesitation in this situation. Down a couple scores late in the game. This offense is staying out there on 4th.
Singer, come on. 1st down catch. Let's go. Timeout.
It's complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their time.
We got to get this thing in the end zone.
As the clock will stop with a minute. A red zone
man, the
alert.
clock's
Let's jump
running.
back in here. 1st and 10 at the 16.
And that was almost
throw
a
by
pick.
Young, incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here, knowing that you need 2 scores?
No, we're just trying to go for
thinking
7.
about it on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Escaping the pressure right.
And I nearly just threw a pick right to
but
that
can't
man.
connect as that falls incomplete. And now a tough spot here.
Bryce,
This is
sorry
3rd
man,
and
it's just
10.
been a struggle
Young.
all day.
To
And
the
almost
end
threw
zone,
it.
but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Late game situation, things seem to be unraveling just a little bit, and that's when you start forcing the football, mainly out of necessity. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete, nearly picked off.
And Trimble drops
On
it.
4th, but this
Game over. And Eberflus will lose his last
the LA
game
Rams
as the
with a
interim
victory
coach.
here. And we
And
talk
quite
so much about the
frankly,
turnover
I
battle
don't
determining
want
who
to
wins and
bring
who
him back
loses.
after
This game, no
because-
exception. They didn't
I
turn
know-
the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth
Because,
operation in this
I
one.
mean, the
didn't
Rams
they?
are a playoff
Because
team.
you
We're
look
not
at
for
every
obvious
facet of the
reasons.
game. They handled their business.
But pretty ugly way
Offense
to
took
end
care
the
of
regular
football,
season.
converted it into points.
Ugly way to end the
Defense took
season
ball
as a
away,
whole.
gave it
So we're
back
going to
the
finish the year
offense.
7
Special
and
teams
10.
right there with them.
And
That's the
we've
type
got
of
work
game
to
a
do in
coach
the
is gonna
offseason.
really love and value. And when they
We
show
took
the
steps
film,
backwards.
that's to be careful not to give out too
Because
many
last year
kudos
we might not have
and
made the
kill their
playoffs, but
motivation.
we at least finished with a winning record. This year we didn't do that. We finished 7-10. Our roster was a little worse this year, don't get me wrong. But we still had a very similar cast on defense and offense. Only going to win 7 games, no playoffs. Just awful. Offense couldn't really get much going in that game. We were able to rally a little bit in the fourth, but overall. Now, of course, we have, players that need to be upgraded. We have some work to do, work to be done. So we're done. We're not going to the playoffs. Let's go ahead and advance to Wild Card Week. Let's simulate through this. Let's see who gets all the way to the Super Bowl. So let me see. So we can't go to staff week yet. So let's go ahead and advance through the end of the season. And then when we get to staff week, we can see who's still out there and who's not out there anymore. So we'll see. All right. Okay, now we're good. Had to check it. All right, so let's view the Pro Bowl roster because it is Pro Bowl week. We'll see if any Panthers made it. No Panthers made the Pro Bowl this year. Surprise, surprise. Well, it is what it is. And I don't think any Panthers were any up for like any, whatever insert position of the year award here. So let's go ahead and advance to the Super Bowl and let's see who wins it. It looks like it's between the Vikings and the Chiefs. So interesting. Go ahead and check out yearly awards. MVP, Lamar Jackson. Coach of the Year, Ramiro Gallo. Okay, so he's the head coach of the Vikings. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year went to Micah. Okay. So Derek Brown actually finished 9th for Defensive Player of the Year, all B. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jaden Ott finished 8th, so we may have something there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Mike Hill-Williams. Yeah, he's ready to take over as a defensive tackle. Andrew Smith finished 8th, so we've got some young guys. Best QB, no sign of Bryce. Best running back, Miles Sanders finished 5th, so that's positive. Best receiver, no love for Bourne. Best offensive lineman, nope. Best defensive lineman. Derek Brown, 5th. Best linebacker, no love for Brian Burns. Best DB, nope. Best kicker. Harrison Butker finished 5th. All right. Not a whole lot going the Panthers' way this year in terms of awards, any recognition of any kind, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and advance through Super Bowl week. Let's see who wins it all. Is it the Chiefs or the Vikings? Lord knows we're a far cry from being a Super Bowl team. This may be one of my toughest rebuilds, but we'll see what happens. All right, so staff moves. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. All right, so fired. Eberflus was hired. Justin King. Anybody who Kevin Stefanski was fired. Jonathan Gannon and Kevin O'Connell were both fired. Maybe one of them. Nick Sirianni got fired. Mike Tomlin also got fired. Okay, let's... Alright. So... So let's do it. All right, after a season like that, clean house. Get rid of you. Andre Weaver, you're done. Darren Young, you're done. Getting a whole new staff. We are getting a whole new staff this year. Hopefully I'm doing the right thing, but we'll see. Head coach. I'm stuck between Tomlin or Sirianni. Matt LaFleur is the offensive coordinator of the Chargers? Interesting. Ron Rivera is the offensive coordinator in Dallas. That's really weird because he's normally a defensive guy. All right, so I think we're gonna do. We're gonna get some real coaches in here. A guy who's been to a Super Bowl before and has good experience with teams. Nick Sirianni, you are now the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers. All right, offensive coordinator. There's some guys out here. We're going to hire Kevin O'Connell as our offensive coordinator. Get a guy in here that knows quarterbacks, got the Vikings to the playoffs, and on defense, we are bringing in Big Mike Tomlin as our defensive coordinator. Getting a whole new staff. All of these guys have been head coaches in the past. Getting a star-studded cast in here. So let's go ahead and check out the talent tree for Nick. And let's go ahead and get some upgrades for him. I know it's bad to probably spend them all here, but we won't spend them all there. Let's go actually to O'Connell. Got 7 points left, so we don't have a whole lot to spend with that. So this is our new staff. Nick Sirianni, former Eagles coach, is now our head coach. We hired Kevin O'Connell to be our offensive coordinator, former coach of the Vikings, and Mike Tomlin is our new defensive coordinator. This will probably change up the schemes, which will mean that we may have to, upgrade certain players at certain positions. But this is the staff we're going with. Part of the things you have to do when you rebuild is that you have to rebuild the staff, and that's exactly what we are doing. We're getting some real guys in here with some credentials, some real coaches. And it looks like that the Chiefs beat the Vikings to win another Super Bowl, so congrats to Mahomes and the Chiefs. So let's go ahead and advance week, and let's take a look one more time. See if we want to give anybody who's hitting free agency a new contract. Let's go ahead and check out the retirements. Let's see if we had anybody from the Panthers retire. I don't think we probably had anybody too significant, but we'll see what happens. So Kirk Cousins retired after 14 years. Well, he spent the year as our backup anyway to Bryce Young, so see you later. Let's go take a look one more time at the players who are ready to negotiate, and let's see if any of them, their interest peaked at all. So none of these guys are interested in coming back. I'm not surprised. We also have a new staff, so there's going to be some changes that are going to come. So here we go with the off season. Let's see what we can get done. We got a lot of work to do with the new staff. So let's take a look at the positions that we could use a upgrade. Take a look at some of the positions we need to upgrade. So Bo Falk actually was never claimed. We put him on practice squad, but he was never claimed. So he's still going to be back next year. Jaden Ott has actually eclipsed Miles Sanders in terms of overall, so he may be the way to go. But I still want to see if there's another top-flight running back that maybe we could get. We need a new fullback because Blossingame wasn't interested in coming back, and we need to get a lot more receivers. We only have 3 receivers on the roster, and we need another tight end. Left tackle's okay. Left guard, we need an upgrade. Center, we don't have any, so we need a new center. We need a new right guard and right tackle. We need upgrades everywhere. And I'm going to get another stopgap defensive line guy, so that way we're not rocking with, Burns, Horn. Yep. Work to be done. Work to be done. So I think every position is on the table in terms of upgrades. So we're going to really take a look at just about every position in free agency and get serious about going after some big guys. We got $163 million in cap room. And Chris Olave is the best receiver, the best player available on the market this year. Let's go big or go home. Player friendly. 5 years. $9.7 million. Going big. And we're number 2 behind the Chargers. Now, let's pump the brakes now. So, Alvin Kamara fits our scheme, but his interest really isn't up there. David Montgomery is interested. Not a scheme fit guy, but you know what? We need an upgraded running back. Let's offer him a deal, see if he'll come here. 142. All right, fullback. We need a new fullback. Patrick Ricard. Fullbacks don't really cost a whole lot anyway, so I think we can get him 1 year for a decent deal. Receivers. We already threw a boatload of cash at Olave, but Dallas Goedert is also available, and he's also one of Sirianni's guys. Let's see if we can convince him to come to Carolina as a new part of a rebuilding project. Well, we're not anywhere close in his camp, so let's go with a player-friendly deal. Well, that puts us at 4th. What about a very player-friendly deal? This may be overpaying for Goddard, but okay, well, that's the best that I'm going to do with Goddard. And we can only do 5 more negotiations right now. So let's go to all. Let's go to all the players, top 100. Already made an offer to him. We don't need an upgrade at left tackle. But Justin Madabuk, we could use an upgrade on defensive end. So let's go with a player-friendly deal. Puts us at number 2. And right now, those are the only negotiations we can do. So we've targeted some big guys. We've targeted Chris Olave, Justin Madabuk, David Montgomery, Dallas Goedert, and Patrick Ricard. Ricard is probably the only guy that I think for sure we got a good chance of landing. But Goddard, we're 4th on his list. Montgomery, we're probably going to land him because we're his only offer right now. Madabuk, we're 3rd, and Olave, we're 3rd as well. So let's see if any of these guys bite. If they don't, we'll increase our offers and see what happens. We're going after the big names. We got to get some talent in here. I know we're overpaying for some of these guys, but we have cap room and we need to upgrade. We need upgrades. We need to stop kidding around because this team is this team, has aspirations for getting back to the playoffs. So it looks like we did sign David Montgomery because we were able to upgrade him. So let's go ahead and take a look and see who else we were able to get signed. So it looks like we've got our new running back. Even though Ott and Sanders are still here, I think getting Montgomery is going to help. Unfortunately, we lost out on Olave. He's going to the Chargers. And we signed Justin Madden, so we got a new left defensive end. I know he wasn't really interested in coming here, but, still. So let me see. We were able to sign Madden, Montgomery, and Ricard. So everybody else, though, who we targeted, including Goddard, didn't come here. But that's okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going after other top guys. So let's go after let's go to all players. And let's see who's still out here who we could go after. So Alvin Kamara is still there. But we got Montgomery, so I don't really think I want to do that. Forrest Buckner's available, 83 overall defensive tackle. And we need a new center. Maybe Connor Williams could be that guy. Let's go and get him. Don't really see too many people offering anything his way. Well, we're pretty low on his list. Let's go with instead of a neutral, let's go with a player-friendly deal. Nope, that still doesn't cut it. Russell Douglas. Maybe we can get him 81 overall corner. Seattle's got a better offer, though. You know what? Let's go after Taron Johnson instead. Let's withdraw the offer for Douglas. We're going after Johnson. Linebacking core doesn't really need a serious upgrade. Evan Neal. I think he could be a good upgrade. That's the thing. So many of these guys. Okay, Alex Kappa. His scheme fit. He's interested in actually coming here. I don't think we need to throw a whole lot of money his way. Let's go after him. Let's increase to a player-friendly deal for Connor Williams. That didn't even do anything either. I don't think we're going to be able to get him. Isaac Ciamalo. Former Eagle, I believe. Player-friendly deal. Oh, he's got no other offers. Okay, so let's go with a neutral deal then. Okay. Bellinger, maybe. But you know what? Let's worry about the tight end some other time. Let's go back to receivers because we can't get any of these guys. The top guys are already gone off the board, off the market, I should say. Donovan Peoples-Jones. Michael Thomas. Give him a contract offer. Where's that put us? Where's only offer? Okay, so he'll probably sign. Scheme fit guy as well. We could use a backup quarterback too. Let's go ahead and bring in Geno Smith to be our backup quarterback. On your deal. Looks like he's hit the backup quarterback market pretty much, so probably his only offer. Need a new fullback. Oh, no, we don't. All right, let's go with a very, very player-friendly deal for Connor Williams. This is overpaying, but let's get a legitimate center in here. And that didn't do anything either. Okay, you know what? We're withdrawing everything with Connor Williams. We're not going to be able to get him. Forget about it. So let's just get a center who's a scheme fit guy. And there's none of them even available. Okay, so let's just get a center who's not very highly rated, but decently rated. Let's get Tyler Biadasz. Let's go after him. Does this put us anywhere in his ballpark? No, not really. Okay. Player-friendly deal. How about that? 3 years, $2.8 million. Eagles are higher. Well, Sirianni is going to outbid his former team just to make sure he gets Biadasz. Very player-friendly. 4 years, $3 million. This is way overpaying for somebody like Biadasz, but got to get better. And that's the best we're going to do. That's the best. That's the highest we're going to offer. We're not going to offer much more than that. All right. Christian Harris is pretty tempting as well. Let's see if we can get him to come here. Player friendly. This is a 5-year deal. Okay, let's actually lower this then. Let's lower to a neutral deal because it looks like he's not getting any other offers. So let's go ahead and see if we can kind of not have to break the bank for this guy. Xavier Woods is a decent safety. We also brought back Von Bell, so I'm okay with that. All right, so we targeted a lot. This is the most active I've been in free agency in this rebuild, mostly because I feel like we need to upgrade just about every single position on this roster. And I think free agency may be the best way to do it. So Taron Johnson, Tyler Biadasz, Evan Neal, Michael Thomas, Isaac Seumalo, Alec Kappa, Christian Harris, and Geno Smith are the players we are targeting in the second wave. So I've been way more active in both of the first waves of free agency than I've been in probably every other rebuild. But let's go ahead and kind of advance to the next stage of free agency and see if we were able to land any of these guys. Hopefully we were able to land at least half of them. All right, let's see. Who did we sign, if anybody? All right, so we got Taron Johnson, we got Michael Thomas, we got Isaac, we got Alex Kappa, we got Harris, and we got Smith. I think there was one other player that I targeted, but he must have gone somewhere else. Can't remember. Well, we took everything off of the table for Connor Williams because he was just getting too high up there in terms of spendage. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our roster here because this final wave of free agency, we can kind of just do whatever we want. We can negotiate as many players as we want to negotiate with. So let's go ahead and take a look at our roster here and see like what positions we need depth at now. So we got Geno Smith to be our backup quarterback, barring anything happens to Bryce Young. I don't think we can change him to number 7. Let's see. Can we give him maybe number 12? Probably not. Just like he was. No, we can't because Michael Thomas is wearing that number. What number does Michael Thomas wear? 13. Okay. But Tyree Welch that. Let's give Geno no, we're stuck with 18. Okay. Well, right now we're stuck with 18 for Geno. David Montgomery is our new starting running back. I want to see if I can give him 32. Looks like I can. Let's go ahead and give him number 32 like he used to wear with the Bears. And I think he also wore 32 at Ohio State as well. Iowa State, excuse me. 32, David Montgomery, our new starting running back. Only thing I'm concerned about is that he's not a scheme fit guy for this new offense we're running with Sirianni, and really none of these guys are. But Montgomery, 85 overall, decent back to go with if you ask me. And, you know, who knows? If Bryce Young can't get it done this year under Sirianni, then maybe we have to go in a different direction with that, but we'll see. So getting Michael Thomas doesn't really give us too much of an upgraded receiver. That may be the guy that may be the position we go with in the first round to really upgrade our receiving group. I think that's what we got to do. Because now we've got a bunch of young guys who are really just unnamed. They're just guys, if you ask me. You know, they're just a bunch of guys. Okay, so Isaac gives us a good upgrade for left guard. We still don't have another center, but we just may have to get that in the draft. And right tackle is another position that we need to look at upgrading. Justin helps us out on the left end. Could use some. I mean, Michael Williams I'm really high on, so I don't really know if we need another defensive tackle. Burns. And we got Taron Johnson to play with him. Woods. Bell. Okay, so let's get back into the free agent pool and see who else we can sign. I don't know how much. I don't know what good players are left. But let's go to right tackles. I don't think anybody's really offering him anything, so yep, we're his best offer, so he'll probably go with us. He's a downgrade from Moten, who's going to the Giants, but it is what it is. Let's get another right defensive end to back up Ogbanaya. Let's go with him. Somebody to back up Derek Brown. Somebody decent to back up Derek Brown, I should say. We're his only offer, so pretty confident he'll sign with us. Could use another corner. Let's get another free safety. Brian Cook. Let's bring him in on a 2-year deal. I was really high on us hopefully being able to get Olave, but, you know, Michael Thomas, you know, was a scheme fit guy, so that's why I decided to go with him. And let's get another tight end. Let's go ahead and get Bellinger in here. Cheap deal, 3 years. Just mainly need tight end depth. And as far as center, just need a center. Because we couldn't get Biotish. Yeah, we haven't signed a center. Okay, so let's just go who's available. Let's get Ethan Pokic. It's a 1-year deal. We mainly just need this guy to be just a guy, basically. Let's increase that deal a little bit. 2 years, why not? Well, that helps us put us above the Commanders because they're the other team that's competing for his services. Let's go back to defensive tackles, actually. See if anybody's still out here. Eric Armstead. Okay, that's pretty intriguing. I think... Let's go with a player-friendly deal. Let's try 2 years with this guy. I know Mikael Williams is still there, but... You know, getting somebody who's at least got some credentials, I think is going to help out in certain ways. And we got so much cap room to spend, so let's just do it. And just for depth, let's go ahead and get a Jabril Cox, former Dallas Cowboy. So last wave of targets: Eric Armstead, Ethan Pokic, Brian Cook, Ogbanaya Okoronkwo. I'm just going to say Ogbanaya. Thaner Mufford Jr., Daniel Bellinger, and Jabril Cox. Those are our targets for the final wave of free agency. Some of those guys we're getting just for pieces to have some depth. Make sure we're not going hungry, if you will. And we're giving out a lot of multi-year deals to these guys to really convince them to stay. Or I should say convince them to come here. That's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of going big or going home this offseason. So that's the direction we're going. Let's view free agency. Let's take a look and see who we all signed. So Geno Smith, Montgomery, Ricard, Thomas, Bellinger, we got him. We didn't worry about left tackle. Isaac Suomelo, new left guard. New center, Ethan Pokic. Right guard, Alex Kampa. We didn't get a right tackle, so we didn't worry about that. We got Justin Matabuk to be our new starting left end. We did sign Eric Armstead, and we got Ogbanaya, Chris Harris, Jabril Cox, new left outside linebackers. I'm not worried about middle linebackers due to Shaq being there. Same thing with right outside linebacker. We got Brian Burns. Signed Taron Johnson. He's our second best corner behind Horn, and that's it. So pretty busy free agency. I really was hoping we can get a top guy like Olave, but this is what we're going with for this is what we're going with for year 4. We got a new coaching staff and we've got a lot of new faces. Hopefully this can translate into some wins, but it remains to be seen. basically any position that I saw an upgrade for in free agency, I wanted to go after. And Bellinger and Tremble are rated basically pretty much the same, but getting Bellinger as another tight end for depth reasons as well. That's another thing that I was thinking about with that. We got a new left guard in Isaac. Ethan Pocket, we got a new center. We may draft another center as well. Alex Kappa, our new right guard. And right tackle is something I also wanted to upgrade, but there was really nobody good available. So that may be a position we need to upgrade in the draft, or we might have to do a trade to upgrade that position, but we'll see. We signed Justin Matabuk. I mean, Gabriel, I want to develop, but he's still stuck at 69 overall. He may get more reps, but it looks like he got more reps last season, but it really didn't matter. And we got Abnai to back up Derek Brown, and our new defensive tackle is Eric Armstead. I like Mykel Williams, but he may be a year away from starting. Eric can be a guy that can kind of mentor him a little bit. Just kind of be a stopgap type of player. Christian Harris is our new left outside linebacker. DJ Johnson and Jabril Cox, going to back him up. Got Shaq. And then right outside linebacker, Brian Burns. So Sheldon Green backing him up. J.C. Horn, Taron Johnson. Young corners. And, yeah. So free agency, that's it. We got a bunch of, new guys in free agency. We spent a lot of money in this free agency, but we still have money to spend. So let's go ahead and let's actually advance to... Let's go to mock draft 5 and see what they have projected to do. I didn't check out any of the earlier mock drafts, mainly because free agency can impact who they projected you're going to take. Do we not have a first-round pick? Yeah, we do. Okay, we do. So right now, we are projected to take Caden Proctor, right tackle. Well, we do need an upgrade at right tackle, so that could be a good idea. But we also need a receiver, so maybe Zachariah Branch out of USC. That could be another possibility. He's projected to be the first receiver to come off the board, but the next receiver projected to come off is Jerron Dickey out of, looks like, Oregon. So maybe Dickey or Proctor or Branch if he's available, but I don't know. I don't know if one of those guys will be available or not. But I think we need another receiver as well. Right tackle is a position that I think we do need to upgrade, but we need another receiver as well, because right now we don't have a receiver who's even in the 80s. And I really feel like that we need to get a bona fide receiver, so we may have to make a trade before the season to upgrade that position. But I want to draft one as well. I really do. So let's go ahead and get in the draft, and let's see. We're on the clock, and this is where we're at. So Caden Proctor is still there. Arch Manning is still on the board. Jerron Dickey. Not really. We really need to upgrade receivers. So we're gonna be risky. We're gonna take Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. He's the best receiver on the board, and he actually is a fit for us. It doesn't say scheme-wise, but as far as team-wise, the Panthers were listed on there. So we're going with Tate as our first-round pick out of Ohio State. And here we are in the second round. All right, let's get... What about right tackles? Are there any right tackles that are looking good? No, they're all 3 to 4 round guys. Vinny Volchowski. What a name. We could use a new young safety, so let's go with him. Fits our scheme as well. Let's go with Vinny. What a last name.
Selection, the Carolina Panthers on the clock.
What a last name. It looks like a Scrabble bonanza. So, I really want to get guys that fit our scheme. So Trey Atkinson, solid middle linebacker. Let's go with him.
The Carolina Panthers now on the clock.
Orlando Young. Maybe. But we're in the 4th round. And we haven't selected a right tackle yet. So let's go with Dion Cook. Because we need an upgrade there at the right tackle.
It's the Carolina Panthers now on the clock.
And just in case he doesn't work out, let's go with Donovan McMillan out of FAU, left tackle. I know we're stacking up on left tackles, but, you know,
the Panthers
maybe have depth back
on
there.
The clock.
All right, here we are in the 6th round. Nigel Covington, corner out of Oklahoma State. That looks pretty solid. Let's go with him. Scheme fit guy.
With the next selection, the Carolina Panthers on the clock.
Here we are in the 7th round, and this is our last pick. So who's going to be our last pick? This guy named Cole Phillips dropped. He's supposed to be a 2nd to 3rd round guy, so let's go with him. I know it's another linebacker, but why not? So I'm kind of on the fence about this draft. I went with the guy that I really didn't talk about, but you know what? We need upgrades at receivers, so that's why I went with that Ohio State guy. Let's take a look at our draft recap and take a look at our rookies. So, drafted Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State, 1st round pick, 10th overall. We drafted Vinny, strong safety, 2nd round. Trey Atkinson, middle linebacker in the 3rd round, right tackle in the 4th round, left tackle in the 5th round. And then we drafted Nigel Covington in the 6th round. And that was it. Oh, and Cole Phillips as well. Forgot about him. All right, so let's adjust our roster here. Probably also going to, adjust the jersey numbers and things like that as much as I can. So we'll see what we can do. Bryce Young, Geno Smith, Bo Falk. So Bo Falk, we're actually going to go ahead and give you just like a random number because you're basically a fake player. I'm giving you 28 temporarily, so that way we can give, Geno maybe number 2, and 18 you can wear for now until maybe we decide to do something else. let me see. Carr, now, Tate. Number 17. So he's going to be a freshman at Ohio State. Well, I think a linebacker wears number 17, but he's somebody who is irrelevant. Sheldon Green. And you know what, Sheldon? We don't even really need your services, so we're actually just going to get rid of you. Bye-bye. We're going to cut you anyway. I like him rocking that 17. Looking good. Well, hopefully Tate can develop and be a good receiver, because right now Mingo, Michael Thomas, and Tate doesn't really, and Singer, that doesn't really make me feel too confident in our receiving core. It's a bunch of young guys and an older veteran in Thomas who's, you know, constantly dealt with the injury bug. So, you know, there's some doubts there. I don't know if Donovan McMullen is a real player. Yeah, he's not a real player. All right, so he can stay with whatever number that is. Let's move one of these guys to right guard. Let's move Chandler Zavala to right guard. Just so we're a little bit more balanced there. Alright, cool. Let's move maybe Ricky Lee to center. That may be kind of a bad idea, but I mean, he's basically a developmental guy, so we can kind of just pick and place where we want him to go. Yeah, 57. So I'm feeling a little bit better about our offensive line, but not really at right tackle, because we really couldn't do any serious upgrades there. So you know what? Let's actually go ahead and put maybe Juan Youngblood. Let's move him actually to right tackle. Hopefully this is will provide some more competition over there. He's a tall man. He's a very tall guy. So that actually makes him a 67. So he's automatically our best right tackle. So we'll do that. You know, Deion Cook we drafted, but not rated very high. He's a rookie. That's why. Let's move one of these left end guys to defensive right end. So let's put Deshaun Johnson. That's a weird name. Let's put him over there. What number did Christian Harris? I remember him in Houston. Uh, 48. Yeah, 48. Okay. Maybe we can give him 48. Like he used to wear in Houston. And give him this number. Let's go with 47 for right now. I wonder who's 48. Jaden Woodbury. You know what? Let's keep him rocking 47. That's fine. Jabril Cox. I remember he was wearing 14 in Dallas, but I don't know if he. I don't know if he can wear that number. No, let's just disregard changes for that. Trey Kisson. Yeah, he's not a real player. Okay. That's what I thought, but you never know. Brian Burns and Cole Phillips are going to back him up. You know what? Let's move Jabril Cox over to the right outside linebacker, just to give some more depth over there on that side behind Brian Burns. Yeah, he's the backup now. I didn't want Cole Phillips to be his backup just yet. Let's see. Taron Johnson, I really don't know much about him. He wears number 7. Well, he's going to just have to rock 35. That's the best we could do. Guy from the Bills. Free safety. Let's move Yam Banks over to free safety. That should kind of give us some balance there for the roster. Let me see. Now this Vinny guy, this is a very weird name. Vot. Is he a real player? Is this guy a real player? No, I don't think he's a real player, guys. That is a crazy last name, but he's going to wear 45. All right. So I think really they just got players named for like being first round picks and all that. All right, so this is a look at our roster for right now, but I don't want to end this just yet. So let's go ahead and advance to the first week of the preseason, because now we can actually do some stuff in free agency. We can see what receivers are available, if there's any good receivers available in free agency or just overall in general, because a lot of these guys, obviously, we could get on cheaper deals for one-year deals, and they're probably, you know, good players, so that's what we're going to do. We're upgrading everywhere. Every position to upgrade is on the table right now. So let's do that. So Alvin Kamara is available. Wow. You know what? We're going for broke. We're going for broke. Bring him in. Bringing him in, you can probably, you know, trade some running backs now and get some capital. We don't need a new kicker. We don't need another free safety. Jordan Poyer. I'm okay with Vaughn. Gainwell, no. Receivers aren't really any good. Brandon Cooks is the highest rated receiver who's a free agent. So in order to upgrade there, we're going to have to make some trades. But here's the thing. We've stacked up a lot with like some young running backs that another team could possibly use. So it's time to get trading. It's time to trade. Let's go to the trade center and let's get a receiver who's good, who's on the trading block. First of all, what receivers are on the trading block who are good? Johnny Wilson on the trade block is the best rated receiver on the trading block. Oh, that's not good. All right, well, we're going bigger than that. We're going bigger than that. We need a guy in the 80s. We're doing a manual trade. So I don't know. What kind of receivers do the Browns have? Yeah, let's just get looking at the receivers. Who's got a really good receiver? Cortland Sutton. But let's find a high guy who also fits the scheme. Diggs, Chase, Tyler Boyd. DJ Moore. Amari Cooper. Maybe. Treylon Burks. You know what? Let's see if we can get him. Let's get Treylon Burks, and let's offer the Titans one of our many running backs. Maybe David Montgomery, straight up. Don't feel. Okay, what about a pick? What about a pick? A second-round pick. Trade accepted. So we got our new #1 receiver, Burks from the Titans. 82 overall, scheme fit guy. Needed to upgrade the receiving core. And I think we're doing it with Burks. Weird direction that we're going in this rebuild, but that's what we're doing. I know we just got David Montgomery, but if Alvin Kamara is available, I just feel like you got to go get him. And he's 87 overall, and he was still available on the market. Nobody wanted him. So we took him. And Denzel Terrell, we're just going to cut you because you're not rocking 41. Alvin Kamara is. You don't get to wear that number, sir. And you don't get to be on this roster. So you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and give Kamara his 41. Former Saint, coming to Carolina, trying to help us rebuild the Panthers. I like that. That was a good, free agent to just kind of fall into our laps. So because of this, we could also potentially look at trading maybe Miles Sanders as well, because I'd be open to that. Maybe even Jaden Ott. I'm stuck between them, and Goodson, solid third back, so... Yeah, so what other positions can we look to really upgrade as far as like skill positions and all that? So let me see what Treylon Burks' number is. Treylon Burks. What is his real number? This is his number. He's number 16, okay. Who's out here wearing 16? Will Hurd. Well, you're done. We're just going to go ahead and cut you. All right. Treylon Burks has shot his way up to being our best receiver. I think that was a trade that we just needed to make. We just needed to upgrade our receiving core. And getting Burks, I think, is going to help. It cost us, a running back who we gave a decent amount of money to, and but I think we're just going to try to, also keep, Alvin Kamara for the long term, if he does well this season, because we need to upgrade our receiving core, and we didn't want to break the bank. So getting Treylon Burks in here, I think, is going to do nothing but help Bryce Young out, and he's a young guy, 4-year out of Arkansas. Got Mingo, we got Thomas, so we got a mix of young and some veterans. Oldest being Michael, of course. So let me see if maybe I could also consider maybe upgrading tight end or maybe one more position on the offensive line. At offensive line, I don't think, at right tackle, I think is somewhere we could probably use an upgrade. I mean, we need an upgrade there. We need a better upgrade than what we've gotten. What about left outside linebacker? I mean, Christian Harris is okay. Right tackle needs to be upgraded. We can't have a guy at 67 overall starting on that side. I won't allow it to happen. Okay, so let's go to back to the trade center. Let's go to the trade block this time and see if there's any decent right tackles that are already on the trade block. If not, we'll go team by team and see what we can do there. So who's on the trading block? Who's even any good? So Zion Nelson is on the trading block, right tackle, 72 overall. But I feel like we can do better than that. So let's just actually go with a manual trade. And let's just kind of go, team by team. Let's see. Let's go right tackle. Starting out with the Bears. Darnell Wright, maybe. Let's also get a guy that fits the scheme. Mike McGlinchey. Don Jones. He fits our scheme, and they already have Conklin, so they may be looking to move on from him. So let's send the Browns. I don't know if they need a running back, but maybe we can give them Miles Sanders for him straight up. Will that do it? Perfect. So, we basically got rid of the two running backs that we actually entered this preseason with because we signed Alvin Kamara, and we're basically moving on with him. I thought about trading away Ott, but ultimately I decided against it because we did draft him, and 75, he's going to make for a good backup back. Miles Sanders was on basically the last year of his deal anyway, so we were just kind of delaying the inevitable. So now, and because of that, we were able to upgrade our right tackle. So we got DeJuan Jones, third-year man at Ohio State, is our new starting right tackle. 79 overall. That definitely helps with upgrading the offensive line. And these guys are starting to fit our scheme better, especially based on the fact that we got a new coordinator, and everything. So tight end, I think, is another position that we can try to look to trade to upgrade as well. Because I think we need also we just need to give Bryce weapons, a decent amount of weapons. We do. I mean, I just feel like we do. That's what it's going to take to get this team better. So let's go to the trade center and see if on the trade block there's any tight end that's any good that's on the block already. Let's go to tight end. Well, none of these guys are really anything too spectacular. So let's actually go do another manual trade and see if maybe we can get a team to give us a tight end who is in the 80s. Now, as far as who we can trade, I don't really know because we traded both of our other running backs that were basically expendable because we were able to get Alvin Kamara in free agency. Bengals, nobody good there. Dalton Kincaid, maybe. Greg Dulcich. Do any of these guys fit our scheme? Because I want to find a scheme fit guy. Not really just a guy that's Oscar Delp. Interesting. Gives away we can get Kelsey. Maybe Hunter Henry. Maybe Hunter Henry is somebody that we can go after. scheme fit tight end. They need what do they really need? They need a quarterback. They need a right end. Left guard. Well, I don't really want to give up a whole lot. Hate to give away Agbanaya since we just traded for him, but maybe they'll take this straight up. I don't think they will, though. Trade declined, of course. Let's see. I have a bunch of left tackles. I don't think they would take Troy straight up. We'd have to probably add a pick to this. I don't think a 4th rounder would do it, but let's see. Yeah, trade declined. You know what? We're just gonna have to take the L on this one as far as upgrading our tight end. I think we're just gonna have to go with Tremble and Hurst. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. This has been a pretty long one. You know, this was a long off season because I basically utilized every wave of free agency to try to upgrade this team. And hopefully it's going to translate into getting the Panthers back into the playoffs because 2 straight years we haven't made the playoffs. We're with a whole new coaching staff. Nick Sirianni, Kevin O'Connell, Mike Tomlin. Getting some big name, getting a few recognizable free agent names, including Michael Thomas. But, you know, we're making a lot of trades. I'm really trying to upgrade this team because this is kind of a longer rebuild, and especially with a new coach, got to get different guys in there that fit the scheme. So that's the biggest thing that we're doing here. So thank you guys for checking out this live stream. I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow. Probably going to wait until next week to do any more Madden 24. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.